Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video where I am preparing to take my SSG96 out into the field for the first time ever. It's very exciting. This weekend I'm going to be heading up to Phoenix Airsoft and yeah, we're going to be doing our first ever field tests of the SSG96. But we can't just go out right now. We've got some work that we need to do before this puppy is ready for the field. Some of those bits we've already done, some of them we're going to be doing right now in this video. Either way, we're going to be talking you through essential things that you should do to your SSG96 before you get out in the field with it. First things first, you need a scope attached. Well, I guess you don't need a scope attached. You could always try and play with it without a scope or with iron sights, but if you're using the SSG96, more than likely you're going to be using a scope. So you want to make sure your scope is attached and secured very, very snugly. If there's any wobble, if there's any play, anything like that in your scope, then it's easy for it to get moved off course and then you're not going to be accurate. So make sure that you've got all of your screws of your mount in place, you're solidly secured on your Picatinny rail, and if you try and wiggle it around and move it, there's no play in your scope at all. Once you've got your scope on, you are going to want to zero in your gun, but before we get there, we need to have a play with some other bits too. Most of it is cleaning, however, we are going to do a cheeky little mod slash upgrade slash fix to make the rifle a little bit quieter. Next up, another one of my essentials is your mag pouch. I like to run a very condensed rig where I literally only have like my sidearm on my side with some magazines. I don't like to carry mags for my sniper rifle anywhere else apart from on the rifle itself. The main reason for that is if I'm in a hide or something and I need to reload, the easiest way for me to do that will be just to slide my arm back, open this up, grab a mag out, come forward and swap it. None of this, you know, moving all of my body to find mags somewhere on my person. And you can get these things super cheap as well. I've had this on 2 different VSRs in the past and they last you a lifetime too. So there's enough room in there for me to carry 2 additional magazines. Or if you wanted to, you could have 1 mag in the gun, 1 mag in here and a speed loader as well. And then that way you can carry much more magazines with you, but you are going to have that little bit of a rattle from the loader. For the next bit that I want to get to, I'm actually going to have to take this off because we need to take the bolt out. First of all, we need to pull this clip down, take the cheek rest off, and then the bolt will just slide right the way out. Now, the first part I want to clean is just the outside of the cylinder. We will be re-lubricating it afterwards too, but I want to give it a clean now so then when I put it down, it doesn't, like, you know, make the side dirty. The best way to do that, grab a microfiber cloth, put a load of rubbing alcohol on there, just like so. I use 70% isopropyl alcohol. Pop your cylinder on, and then just give it a spin around, and clear all of that gunk off. The great thing about isopropyl alcohol is it evaporates after you've used it, so you don't have to worry about any residue being left on whatever you're cleaning. Good stuff. Just like that, cylinder on the outside is clean, so now we want to open it up and get into the internals. There are specific tools you can get to take the, you know, the end bit off. I like to just use a pair of scissors. Open your scissors up a little bit, get your scissor ends into those little holes just like that, and then give it a spin. Then we just spin this around and make sure that when we get to the end, we be careful because the piston will want to come out. Cylinder head goes to the side, piston comes out, spring comes out, and then we've also got our spring guide as well, which is the first place we're going to stop on our voyage of bettering it. Same as before, we want to give it a clean so we can get our cloth, and it's probably still going to have enough isopropyl alcohol on there to clean it up. So we just grab our spring guide and just give it a full-on rub over, make sure it's nice and clean. That being done, we're going to do our little modification here, and that is putting some shrink wrap over the spring guide to take out that spring wobble sound that we have with it. Now, this is very easy to do, and shrink wrap is super cheap. I like to buy big boxes of it like this because you get a whole variety of different sizes, so you can, you know, use them in a ton of different applications. And we want to find one that fits our spring guide perfectly. Not too bad. That is quite snug. Now, all we need to do to apply it, once we've got the one which is the right size, just pop the shrink wrap over the spring guide just like so. You can see we've got a little tip there sticking out, and that's fine. That's not going to impact the noise levels at all. And then we want to grab our hot air gun. You can use hair dryers, you can use fire as well if you want to, but hey, if you've got the tool, you might as well use it. So we're just going to turn it on, let it get hot, and then apply a little bit of heat to this, and you'll see it shrink around the spring guide. Cool, that got pretty darn toasty, I tell you that. It's pretty much done. Let's have another look at it. If you don't have shrink wrap or a heat gun and you kind of want to do it on the cheapy option, you can also get some tape. So I've just got some marking tape there as an alternative version to the spring wobbly sound noise issue. Wrap it around there as thinly as you can do, and then that should also help take the noise out too. The whole reason there's noise in the first place is because the spring is vibrating and it's metal on metal. So if you can take that metal on metal contact away, you also take the noise away. Putting the spring on. Perfect fit, absolutely silent doing that, so that should be perfect in the gun too. The spring we don't really have to touch at all, but we will be bringing our attention to the piston next. And again, using our rag, we can give this a little bit of a clean. Having a look inside the cylinder, it is super clean in there already, so I don't have to do really anything to that. If I did want to clean it though, all I would do again is put some alcohol on my cloth, poke it inside, rub it around a little bit, and then that'll be everything there done. For now though, I'm going to grab my silicone gun oil 35, which is fantastic stuff, and start lubing everything up. All it takes is a few sprays. I also like to give the piston a little bit of a spray too before I put that in, just to make sure it is fully lubed up and nice. Piston lubed, cylinder lubed, let's rebuild this bad boy. So we'll take our spring and spring guide. Then we'll take our piston. And then we take cylinder head and screw it in nicely. And then once it gets to the point where you can't finger tighten it anymore, scissors again, pop them into the holes and give it a spin. That is now complete. All we need to do now, grab the bolt, pop it back into the riff. Although before I push it all the way in, I'm just gonna spray the glide ring in there, which should help me have a smoother bolt pull. There we go. Now that's back in there, let's see if we have that spring wobble. Here is the before for you. And here's the after. Much better. Now I'm just going to give this all a rub down on the outside, because you can sometimes get lubricant coming out and about where you don't want it to be, and it could just make it look untidy. So again, with that little bit of alcohol you've got on your cloth, rub it all the way over just to get rid of any of those little spots or sprays that you may have. You may also have noticed that I've got a different safety catch on here than the usual ones. I did a video before about a chap whose safety catch broke, and Novritsch and his team, they did replace it. They gave him a whole trigger unit while they organised getting replacement safety catches. What I decided to do though after that video was to design my own safety catch, which you can see on there. So it's very little, the bolt kind of covers it, but it's this little bit here. So as you can see, it's off safe now, and it's just that little thumb movement there, puts the safe on. See that, can't do the trigger, push it forward, and the trigger is perfectly fine. So yeah, little nifty little safety on there. And if you'd like one of these, check out the link in the description below. With all of that done, let's quickly do an air seal test to make sure that our seal is sealing. Just cock it, put your finger over the end, take the safety off, and then fire. Perfect seal. Listen to that again. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely perfect air seal on there. That's great because it means that every shot is going to be consistent with a consistent air seal like that. And that's something I do tip my hat to Novritsch at, because air seal is something that he and the rest of his team find to be very, very important. And I agree, it is very important. And the fact that this performs already with that kind of air seal is a sign of good things to come. Hopefully. We haven't chronoed it and we haven't got out in the field with it yet. So let's chrono it now and see how it does. Fuck off. No way. No. Oh, no. Oh, I can't show you that. Oh, my God. My chrono battery just died. But 100%, I shit you not, every single one of those shots, 3 shots, 498.4, 498.4, 498.4. That's fucking dumb. That's ridiculous. How much was this again? Like, I think I paid, what, $350 for it? I mean, there's a lot of other signs about that, you know, that are going to lead to what the performance is. But that's 3 shots, each after another, 498.4. All of them exactly the same. Genuinely, I'm very much like, wow. Like, that's so good. Bugger me. This is now ready to go out for the field. Granted, I need to zero in the scope. I need to get the hop adjusted for the BBs I'm going to be using. Thank you very much for coming along. And just wow, like, seriously, I can't believe it chronoed like that. You know, I'm in shock. You know, I genuinely am. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure as always having you here. Remember, check out the links in the description below. Keep calling your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.